Welcome to the She Trucking Podcast, where we celebrate the powerful women behind the wheel and the incredible journeys they take. So, sit back, buckle up, and let's hit the road together.
Hello, everybody. Happy Sunday. Today is day 3 of the She Trucking Podcast as we are getting ready for the She Trucking Podcast. I'm so excited to be here with you today because I have a great topic today. Today, I'm going to talk about how to get your commercial driver's license, which is still a question that everyone asks me. So make sure you share out this podcast today because I'm going to be sharing some great information that can really help people get started with their commercial driver's license. And I feel like it's no better time than now. This is the time if you're going to come on in the industry to come on in before all these autonomous trucks come in and take our jobs. So come on in now and sit back, relax, and enjoy this ride. Okay. I'm gonna play a quick commercial as I pull up my slides. I got slides today. I am prepared. But the last season we were sponsored by TAF. So I have on my TAF t-shirt today. So shout out to TAF is a factoring company that is out here for our owner operators. And we thank TAF again for being our sponsor for last season. We are currently looking for new sponsors. Okay. So if you're interested in sponsoring any of the shows on She Trucking Podcast, then just send us a message or you can send me an email at info@shetrucking.com. Okay. That information is right at the bottom of our screen. Also, but before further ado, I am going to be referring off this guitar. This is Ashley McBride guitar as we are gearing up for driver appreciation. Of course, this goes towards us being able to give out scholarships and also driver appreciation week. Back to the drivers. I also want to shout out to Saraz Fast. That's the razfast.com where you can get this puller, okay, that you can pull your fifth wheel out. It also has a flashlight. So at nighttime, you can be able to pull that fifth wheel. You don't have to get all dirty. This is what I use in my truck. It is a handy tool. And also, ladies, if you're on the road, you can also hit somebody over the head with it. So it is a very handy tool to have in your truck if you want more information. What kind of truck do I drive or did I drive? So I've driven Freightliners, Kenworths, Volvos. I owned the Freightliner. I just got out of a Peterbilt truck. So but I've been in the industry for 10 years. Let me introduce myself. So I've been driving trucks for 10 years. Okay. 10 years. It's my 10th year. I'm so excited. And I'm here with, I've been the founder of She Trucking and actually launched She Trucking 7 years ago. So we are an organization who advocate for women in the trucking industry. This is our 7th year. I'm so excited. And thank you to everyone for your support. Okay, so again, this and back here, I'm just gonna use this as my pointer. As you see, we have our Road Dog coffee here, which is the first coffee brand in the trucking industry. It is actually really good. I would say that it's really good. Let me grab my Black Dog coffee. Okay. And so I will be doing these as giveaways as we gear up for the She Trucking podcast. If you would like to donate to be able to help us continue the mission, it's hard. I can't do it by myself. I have to do it for people with people like you. So if you would just hit the cash app at She Trucking, then that will help me to continue this mission of empowering women and also men in trucking. We got a lot of men on our team as well. I'm going to stick that into my shot, the Road Dog coffee, because this will be a giveaway. Here's some. And also my Blue Tiger headset. That's another one of our giveaways that we're going to be giving away as well. The reason I'm not in a truck right now is because I'm no longer with the last trucking company. I was in a local company. I'm an over-the-road driver. So I am looking for a job. Okay. So I won't have to keep going live every single day, but I will be going live until I find my next company to work for, whether it's an owner operator or whether it's a mega carrier or a small company. I definitely want to be with someone who, Um, someone who appreciate truck drivers. Shout out to Twisted and Trendy Radio Show. Thank you for watching on YouTube. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Also, is it much. Thank you so much. And if you have any comments or any type of information that you want to share, drop it in the comments and I'm live. Okay. I'm live. So let me just play this quick commercial break really, really quick. I'm gonna play this commercial and then I'm gonna come back with my slides as I talk about what's the requirements to get your commercial driver's license. I really want you to share this out because I people still inboxing me. Um, Thank you, Miss Brown. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for watching. People keep asking, still inboxing me and asking me, how do you get your CDL? How do you get your CDL? So I'm getting ready to answer that today, and you can share this out in the future. Or if you need the ebook, I'm gonna also put the link to this ebook in the descriptions. It's not in there just yet, but once on the replay, it will be, and I'm gonna be updating it and put the link to the ebook in the description. Is absolutely free. And I can only do this for free if you donate to me. So go to She Trucking and donate. Of course, it's a tax write-off. We are a 501c3 nonprofit organization.
Join the She Trucking Foundation today and be a part of a supportive community of women in the trucking industry. Unlock exclusive access to valuable resources, including mentorship, educational workshops, and networking opportunities. Whether you're an experienced professional or just starting your trucking journey, She Trucking is here to empower you and help you thrive. Visit www.shetrucking.com to join us and drive your trucking career to new heights.
All right, thank you. And just like that, we're back. And as you see, was one of my trucks that I had, a Freightliner Century. And everybody told me not to get that DEF system. So I listened to all my old, experienced drivers out there that told me which type of truck to get. And it was a very, very reliable truck. As you saw me shifting and driving, I don't care for those automatics. I don't really care for those automatics. But anyway, with as promised, I am going to be talking about how to get your CDL. Okay, how to get your commercial driver's license. Now, 10 years ago, I really didn't know any women who drove the truck. My uncle Ray, there's a lot of y'all may know him if you in Chattanooga, Ray Cameron Lawrence, Ray Cameron. My uncle, he was actually one of the first truck drivers in my family. My mom drove school buses and she had her commercial driver's license, but she had her class B. And my uncle, he had a class A. He drove for Siskin Steel and he drove the big steel trucks, okay, all over the United States. And he absolutely loved it. I remember when growing up, he used to pull that big old truck up in front of the house, and he drove a cab over. I think I have a picture of it, and I may try to find it and pull it up after this podcast, or share it on my profile on my social media after this profile after this podcast. But he had a cab over truck back then, and it had all these lights all over the dash. And I used to love to flick the switches and lights. And he would, let me talk on the CB radio. And I just thought that was just the coolest thing ever. And I always wanted that a handle as well. But again, that's how I got into trucking, is seeing my family members in the trucking industry. And now I have so many family and so much family that is in the trucking industry, along with my dad. He's a truck driver. So along with many of my cousins as well, driving trucks. So we come from a long trucking family. Okay. So all right, how to get your CDL license. Okay, in this ebook, you will learn how to first get your CLP. That's your commercial learner's permit. That is the first requirement to get your commercial driver's license. So you have to be able to pass 3 tests, which is general knowledge, air brakes, and combinations. Okay, that's going to be the first step to get your commercial driver's license. And let me tell you, nowadays we have these apps on our phone that you can study and take practice tests. You also want to be able to get out there and touch that truck. If you know someone in your family or anybody that you know who drive a truck, ask them to show you how to do a pre-trip inspection. Before I got my commercial driver's license, I did go out on the road with a experienced driver, and I got to see what it was like over the road. So that's how I got started. I didn't just jump in and then, you know, and even for me, it was difficult, especially when I was the word fifth wheel, right? You might count 5 tires, and that's not the fifth wheel. Okay. So you want to know like what's going on with that truck, and just to see if you are strong enough for this lifestyle, because this is a lifestyle, driving a truck and actually staying in it and living in it. And I did live in my truck for 4 years straight. Okay. I lived in the truck. I didn't have a home. Okay. My truck was my home. I started off with Swift Transport, end up going to American Central Transport in my first couple years of driving a truck. So, um, which is still some of the best companies that like to recommend for people to drive for. Again, the DMV requirements to get your CLP. You're gonna nowadays they don't have a nowadays some of the driver's license plates do not have the commercial driver's license books anymore, but you can download them online. You just Google CDL book and your state. Okay, so I would like for me, I'm in Tennessee. I would just Google Tennessee CDL manual. So the CDL manual that's for your state, you can download it. You won't need everything in the book, so don't print the whole book out. Some of the Class B stuff you won't need. And I'm sorry about the noise in the background. I have some construction going on at my house right now, so you're gonna hear a little background noise today. Again, my apologies for that. Um, Okay, so you're gonna complete the CDL application. In this ebook, you can just click these links. You can just click it, and it's gonna take you to where you want to go. Okay. Now let me just talk about what type of opportunities that if you get your commercial driver's license, what doors open for you. You can drive a dump truck. Not just everyone just thinks of the semi truck, but it's more to just driving a semi. Okay. So yes, I enjoy driving that 53-foot semi trailer. Hey, or anything longer than that. That I want to be the biggest thing on the road. But if you're afraid of all of that, then you can drive, a box truck. Some of the box trucks, as long as it's over 10,000 pounds, you can require a CDL. If it's 10,000 or below, it does not require a commercial driver's license. So some box trucks require a commercial driver's license and some don't. That's one of the things you can do. You can drive a box truck. Here, our electric power board, we have a bucket trucks, okay? And the city of Chattanooga, we have city trucks. You can also drive the commercial, the CDL trucks for them too, the city, the electric power board, the water company as well. That's another. So applying for your local water company. You can get a lot of local city jobs with a commercial driver's license. Dump trucks. A dump truck does require a commercial driver's license. It is more local as well. So you can apply for those. And that's a couple of options. Also, don't forget that the CDL, you have multiple classes. You have a class A, a class B, and a class C. So with the class B, you can drive your bus. You can drive tour buses for celebrities, sports, schools. You can drive all kinds of different buses. Your city bus. We have MARTA here. Carter. MARTA is in Atlanta, Georgia. But you can drive the Carter bus. The public bus, transportation buses as well. So it's so many options that you can. And if you know any more, then drop them in the comments. Shout out to T Swin. Thank you for watching and tuning in today. The post office too here. Yes. So even at the post office, let me pull that comment up. The post office, also you can get your commercial driver's license, drive and move mail. So everything, trucks are having that commercial driver's license is so important to your life. Okay. You can do so many things. It's just open up so many doors. And if you get it and you don't like it, you don't have to drive. Okay, let me just say that you do not have to continue to drive. You can find you something else to do. Or if you, but just having it versus not having it is a benefit. So even like right now, I'm sitting here talking to you, looking for another job. But guess what? I have my commercial driver's license. And for the last 10 years, it has helped me to be able to land a lot of opportunities and make the most money I've ever made in my life. You know, most companies they start you off about 30,000 a year, maybe 60,000. When I first started in trucking, it was about 40,000. I started making 25 cents a mile. 25 cents a mile was all I was making when I first started out. Of course, that was nothing. I sold little $400 paychecks, but now it's about 50 to 60 cents a mile. Most people start out with 800 at the lowest, up to $1,000 a week is what they're bringing in and more. So it's just, that is the minimum. I will say this. I haven't seen a real big pay increase since I started driving. But it's still good money to those who are interested in getting in because of the pay increase for what you're currently doing now. So, and like I said, there's so many opportunities. I probably, from tanker trucks to driving car haulers, you got dually trucks. Okay. The dually trucks, you can drive those. Some require a commercial driver's license, some don't. Um, you can do flatbed, refrigerated, drive in, uh, you can haul grain and sand, tankers, and just all different types of things. If you have a love for driving, a passion for driving, and this is the career choice that you can make. And once I say about it after a year, maybe 2 years, it's a piece of cake. I mean, you have to just make sure that you're out there being safe on the road. But anyway, you're gonna need a medical card. Okay. That's one of the things you're gonna need when you get your commercial driver's license. I need to pop, I wish I had this big on my screen, but this is one of the companies, the Tennessee DOT physical, where I get my medical card from. And you know what? I don't have my medical card handy. It's in the next room. But having that little medical card, they just add, you have to do a urine screen, a drug screen, and then they ask you if you're healthy. Some places will measure your neck and stuff and see if you have sleep apnea. If you do have sleep apnea, then will have to use a machine in the truck while you're driving, but that don't stop. Only thing I see that stop people is if you have if you're a diabetic on insulin. Okay. That's the only thing the only problem I see that, kind of stop people when they are trying to get that medical card. So, okay. Now, let's see. I'm going to go to the next. And of course, you need to have 3 proof of your residence. You have to prove where you live, okay? And get that to the DMV. You need your social security card. And of course, number 1, let me bring myself back on this camera because the number 1 thing that people ask me, yes, you need a driver's license. You have to have a valid driver's license. Okay? And make sure that you want a pretty clean driving record, as much as possible. You don't have to be perfect. This is the perfect career for imperfections. So if you are if you have a felony or a misdemeanor or anything like that, this is the career that'll accept you right on in. So you don't have to be perfect. Your record don't have to be perfect. But I will tell you, if you're gonna get in this industry, you want to be a hustler. That means you want to be able to pick up loads, move it on time. Okay, you got to be willing to grind and work when everybody sleep. Okay, and do it safely so you can make it home at the end of the day. So that's our job, is to make it home at the end of the day. All right. Now, I actually went over some of these already. Um, and a lot of y'all probably know I had a CDL, a COP program here in Chattanooga as well. So these are some of the slides of information that I've given people. Like I said, you can get your different endorsements on your license. which is like the tanker, the passenger school bus. If you're gonna be hauling people, you want to get that passenger endorsement. The tanker, and the more endorsements you have, the better pay. Okay, let me say the more endorsements you have, the better the pay. So if you get that triples and doubles, it open up doors to be able to go to some of your LTL companies like ABF, FedEx, Saya, many other companies that has those triples and doubles. That's multiple trailers on that combination vehicle. Um, or you may want to get the passenger, like I said, to drive the tour bus for celebrities. You may want to do the tanker trucks, which will open up doors for you to haul fuel and sand and sugar and grain or the school bus, just to how carry the kids and bring them back and forth to school. So, and like I said, it's 3 different types of classifications that I'm just going to be talking about today. Right now, most of y'all probably have a Class D, which is a regular driver's license. But our Class A, it means that we can drive everything. Okay? It gives us the ability to drive absolutely everything with those endorsements. And I'm excited and proud to say that. Like, I enjoy being able to have the opportunity to drive anything I want, everything I want. So, and that Class B, like I said, is the difference is in most of the type of vehicles, it's going to be that weight. So when you're preparing for your commercial driver's license, like I said, you're going to take first the CLP test, and that's going to include downloading these apps. That's the first thing I will do, is download the app, which is going to be your CDL prep app. Is right on your phone. You can also download the DMV Genie. If you don't want to be over the road, you can, right. Cement trucks, vacuum truck drivers. Exactly. It's so many opportunities. And I want y'all to start thinking outside the box, because they are trying to eliminate that over the road type of lifestyle that we love. So, going into those cement trucks, those dump trucks and other positions, and I'll tell you, every city is hiring. Every city is hiring. Every local place is hiring. So, think outside the box when you're trying to land your next job. If you already have a job, let me say this, y'all. Stay where you at. Stay where you at. All right. So Trucker Country was an app that it's not an app, it's a website that I actually use to get my hazmat endorsement. So I have Trucker Country up here too. It does have testing for the general knowledge, air brakes, and combination. And you're probably saying, what is the CLP? What is that CLP? So the CLP it's made up of 3 tests. You have to pass with 80% or more. That's going to be general knowledge, air brakes, and combinations. Those are the 3 tests that you have to take in order to get your commercial driver's license. The general knowledge has 50 questions on the test. It has 50 questions. Air brakes has 25, and combination vehicles have 20. And so general knowledge is the general knowledge of the whole entire, like the trucks, safety, speeding, road signs, all the things. It's all the knowledge in one. That's, like I said, 50 questions. And then air brakes is your air braking system. I have a picture right here that shows you the airlines and the electrical lines. So that's your air brakes. And so we don't have brake fluid. The truck is actually operates off of air. That's what triggers us to be able to, stop. And of course, we can't stop on the dime. It takes a football field for us to stop. So please do not put your car in front of our trucks and think we're just going to be able to stop. No, it don't work like that. A combination vehicles, that's the tractor and the trailer. Okay. So a combination vehicle means when you are the tractor and the trailer. Okay. And so you want to be able to take that combination test. It also talks about some air brakes in all of them. And combinations in all of them. Of course, the number one thing is safety. So making sure that you're safe out here. I did already go over the CLP endorsements as well that you can get. So I'm gonna go to the next slide. All right, now it's steps to get your commercial learner's permit. What are the steps? And yes, these are real pictures as I'm out here with some of my students and we're doing pre-trips inspections. Again, excuse my noise in the background. The first thing you want to do is download what did I say? That commercial driver's license manual by your state. Then you want to download those apps that I was just talking about. Okay, these are the real life pictures of what the apps look like as well. So you want to download those apps as well on your phone to kind of start quizzing yourself on the questions and kind of I would just say this kind of memorize what's going on and what's because I know it's hard when if you never seen a semi truck before, you never been in one and you never touched one. And that's why I said I recommend going out by any truck. You can go to any truck stop that's close to you in your local area, or you can go and, like I said, talk to someone who you may know who is already in the trucking industry, and they can show you how to some of the names of the different parts on the truck and trailer. Number 3, you're gonna get your medical card. Okay, you want to go to any physician's care, any kind of medical center, your doctor's office to get you that medical card. You need a long form and a short form medical card. And then you're going to take your commercial driver's license permit test, which will be at your local DMV. I will say this, don't first use those apps. Once you make it 100%, then go to the DMV. Okay. But make sure that you at least making 100% on your or close to it before you go to DMV to take that test. You need to really familiarize yourself with what's going on. The DMV test has been updated in the last couple of years. Okay. In the last couple of years. So some stuff may not, be exactly what is on that the practice test. But that's why I said download that CDL manual and then you can be able to, read and learn everything. Let's see. Hey, Miss Johnson. Didn't they change the law? You can't just go take the test and get your cup. Right. Your CLP or CDL, you have to actually attend the trucking school, a trade school. Well, you can still get your CDL permit. Okay. So that's the number one thing. You can still get your commercials learners permit. But they did change it where now, like, I just can't take you to the DMV. You have to go in, and we're going to talk about that in just a minute. But you have to go to a trucking school to be able to get the the training. ELDT is what it's called, training. So that was a great question. Um, and which is the next thing, number 6. Well, first you're gonna sign up. So anyway, after you get your learner's permit, your CLP, you're going to sign up for a CDL program. Okay. It's many places that'll help you get started for free. For instance, the WIOA program, any apprenticeship programs, you got company sponsored training. You can go to your unemployment office to be able to sign up for the WIOA. You can go to apprenticeships.com and they have global apprenticeship programs all over the world that will pay you while you training. Okay. Then you have company sponsored trainings. I'm going to go more in detail with some of those starter companies that you can apply for. Um, some will pay you to go to CDL school and some will not. So I will be discussing those in my future slides. And then any community college, most community college have some, and also some of the trucking companies. So a lot of trucking companies have CDL programs as well. Even like the Carter bus station, your bus stations, and they also have some programs for that Class B. Class B work a little bit different. You have to get signed off before you can get that Class B license. Okay, and then just like what Miss Johnson was talking about, the ELDT training is what's new. That entry level drivers training is what's new. You have to take 30 additional tests once you are at that CDL school. But let me just say this, it is super easy. It's all about safety. Super, super easy. You're gonna learn that pre-trip inspection. Okay, that's the number one thing is safety. We got to make it home and make it and be back and safe on the road. So that is that number one thing that we're gonna that's covered during the first week of you at the CDL school. Okay, and so hold on, y'all. I just want to share this in my community. Make sure I'm live in my She Trucking community. Okay. And so you're gonna get that seat at you're gonna do a pre-trip inspection. You're gonna learn all the parts of the vehicle. Okay. And of course, well, let me just say it's a skill. It's not something you're gonna learn in a day. It does take this is a skill. So it takes time for you to, learn all the parts of the truck and to be able to say it's not leaking, if it's any fluid in it, it's not bent or broken, and it's mounted secure. Those are some of the key words that you're gonna learn when you're in trucking school. Okay. Next, you're gonna learn your back end maneuvers, 3 of them. Most of the time, it's gonna be that straight line backing, your offset, left or right. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. I say back or right. I meant to say left or right. Oh, no. I got it. Offset, right or left, parallel parking, alley docking, parallel park on the driver's side, and then your 90-degree alley dock. Okay. So those are some of the maneuvers that you learn in trucking school. And let me just say this, you can do it. It was difficult for me to learn the back end. And I finally got it. Again, this is a skill and anybody can get it as long as you don't give up. That's the key to it. It's sticking with it and don't give up because you can do it. You can learn it and you can bag that truck up. Okay, and then next you're gonna have your CDL road test. So they're gonna make sure, first of all, during that test, you're gonna do that pre-trip inspection. You're gonna do your back end maneuvers, and then you're gonna hit the road. During training, most schools don't give you a whole lot of training behind the wheel. Okay. But you get enough. You get enough training where you can, be able to pass that test. And if you feel like you haven't had enough, speak up and say, hey, can I? Get back in the truck again and get some more hours behind that wheel. Don't be afraid to speak up and let people know that you want to be safe when you get out on the road because safety is our number one top priority. It's fun driving that truck, I tell you. It's like driving a car when it's just a tractor and you going forward. So just going forward and turning and all that stuff is easy. A lot of companies have automatics. Now, I will say this, if you test in an automatic truck, you will have an automatic restriction. Okay? So remember that. Try to test in a manual where you can shift all the gears so you can drive anything you want. Those endorsements that we talked about earlier was that tanker, the triples and doubles, and that hazmat. Those are my top 3 that I say, hey, go to get those endorsements knocked out as well. Okay, so I have some commercial driver's license training videos that are here in my ebook. Of course, this ebook is absolutely free. I want you to get your CDL, and guess what? Thousands of people have. This has helped millions of people, be able to get started in the transportation industry. And so I have videos on inspecting your vehicle. That's that pre-trip inspection, how to calculate your following distance. You want to, make sure that you're not too close to the vehicle in front of you so you can slow down and have time to slow down. Because sometimes, as y'all know, traffic will come to a halt. It talks about railroad, what to look out for with the railroad. what type of signs indicates what type of railroad crossings you're getting ready to cross, driving down the mountains, transporting cargo, how to secure the cargo. Okay, that's important because you do not want to damage that precious cargo because that's how we get paid. It talks about the combination vehicles and air brakes. And so in this ebook, again, I'm going to be putting this in the descriptions where you can go back and click. But in this ebook, it is everything you need to be able to pass your CDL test. Okay. Between the ebook, the apps, the CDL manual, and you getting into someone else's truck and talking to a driver, you got this. You got this, and you can do it. Because I did it. And it wasn't easy. All right. Some truck driving schools that will help you get your commercial driver's license for absolutely free. Absolutely free. Okay. You do have to sign a contract. Now, I started with Swift Transport and I was on a 1-year contract. And to me, that's the best way to get started nowadays because it's hard to get a job. A lot of people are getting that commercial driver's license and they can't even find a job afterwards. So I suggest that people get it, go to one of these starter companies. My top company that I tell people to start with will be Prime. Prime will pay you they have paid CDL training and along with ROEHL, trucking school, truck driving school. Those are two companies that I, suggest people start off with. And of course, Swift. Swift has one of the best training programs. They have terminals all over the world, a lot of freight. You can be do lease purchase. You can be a company driver. You can be an owner operator. It's so many options that you can be able to get into when starting your career at Swift Transport. And then you got Warner as well, Stevens Transport, and CFI, just to name a few. Of course, you can also go to like local if you're in Chattanooga, like Chattanooga State Community College. You can go to Millamont Community College here in Chattanooga. And I think it's a 180 or is it 160? I don't know. 180 driving school or 160 driving school, but it's a few and it's many, many more trucking schools out there as well. But these are ones that you can go to for absolutely free. Okay, because you don't want to, be spending all that money. We are here to make money. This is so needed. Thank you so much, you server. You're welcome. So after you sign up for that school, and let me say this: you don't have to have the permit before you go to school. You can just sign up, but it really helps you to get ahead of the other people. So I always tell people, go ahead and get that permit, then sign up for the school. I didn't have a permit before I signed up for the school, for my CDL school. No, let's see. Did I? Yeah, actually, I think I did. No, I didn't. I didn't, and actually, I didn't pass that CDL permit in time, and it really held me back. So that's why I always tell people to get the permit, CLP permit, commercial learner's permit first, and then go to school because you don't want to be like me when I got held back. Okay, and everybody else was just passing me on by. Hey, Miss Sue, and hey, JF Clay, and CDL Shorty, and Destiny as well. Lady Trucker Essentials. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Please share this out. This is a helpful video for anyone who is interested in getting their commercial driver's license. All right, finding that job. And I will say, shout out to Volvo for putting me in this commercial. I actually got to park this truck right here that you see on my screen on top of Green Mountain. This is a real photo. And so it was our driver. It said, what if a driver designed a truck? So this is a torque, Volvo iTorque that was created by amazing driver. And if you want to see that commercial, go to Volvo or go to Volvo website and you can be able to see it, all the different functions of it. Okay, but finding that CDL job. So, like I said, start out with that starter company, get locked in for that year. Okay. And then that way you know who you're gonna work for. Cause not having no experience out here and you out here by yourself, that's not what you want to do. And that's why I'm not going to recommend going to a lot of private schools. I would go to a mega carrier, start out with those mega carriers, because I'm hearing that a lot of people are struggling when it comes to finding it, landing that first job nowadays. Okay. Which is different from when I started. Soon as you apply, honey, people was busting your door down trying to get you, okay, calling you, trying to put you on the airplane, and of course, another thing, when you go to CDL school, they will pay for your travel. They will put you up in a hotel, and they're gonna, or if you want to drive, yeah, they will reimburse you for your miles and gas. They will either put you on a plane, on a bus. They'll make sure that you get to the terminal to be able to start. And they will sometimes they will most hotels they have like breakfast. And the only thing that you would want to have is lunch. And I always tell people, make sure you have about $500 in the bank just for emergencies. Because at the end of the day, if they put you right in the truck, like say if you go to like Swift, for instance, after training, you get into the truck and you're gonna need essential items like bedding, food, water, those different things. So come out here, with about $500 saved up before you just kind of jump out there. Now you can jump out there with nothing. I've seen people jump out with nothing and just go and get into trucking, and you'll be okay either way. It just depends on, you want to pack stuff like when I was in training, I packed up like you know, enough clothes to last me about a month because you won't see home for a month. I'll tell you that when you're first getting started. All right. We have for the last 7 years, we've had a Facebook community. It's called She Truck, and it's absolutely free for you to be a part of it. Giving you an invitation now to join our community, She Trucking, that is right on Facebook here. And you can just, request to join and come in and ask experienced drivers any question you may have. You can also search in the search button any question that you may have, and we are here to help you, navigate and get the your driver's license. So, well, if you don't, do y'all have any questions about anything? I do want to talk about what it was like when I was going through my training. So, after I got my driver's license, it was time for me to go out with a trainer. Okay, because just because you have a license do not mean you know how to drive. That mean that you are now you're in the best position to get that job, to learn how to drive. That's how I look at it. And so I had an amazing trainer, and I stayed out on the road for about 4 weeks, maybe. It might have been longer, maybe a month and a half, and we traveled the world together. My trainer taught me how to, stay safe out there on the road. I remember I stalled the truck when I first got in Nashville. I went from Chattanooga to Nashville and stalled the truck. And I thought I was gonna die. And so he said, calm down, and crank it back up. And and we kept going. I learned how not to stall the truck in the middle of traffic. And so, all the different things, all the mistakes that you're gonna make, that trainer is there to be able to guide you and make sure that you feel safe. What are your thoughts on truck hauling when you deliver trucks to their owners? Yeah. So piggybacking is what we call it. So you can, like, as T Swin was saying, you can deliver trucks to their owners and you can hook them up and piggyback and do all that stuff. I think it's a opportunity to make money. And of course we need to make money. A lot of people see all these $100 bills on my table. Of course, this is an advertisement for the truck parking club. Okay. This is an advertisement for the truck parking club. It's an app that you can download, Truck Parking Club, on your phone. It's absolutely free to download the app, and that's where you can find a lot of places to park your truck. When I started here in Chattanooga, we didn't have a lot of places to park, and I didn't think about where I was going to park. I was so busy concentrating on just getting my license and getting in the truck as I'm driving home after I passed everything. And now it's time for my home time. I realized I gotta park this big old thing somewhere. And so the Truck Parking Club is your answer. They have over 500 parking spaces all over the world, 500 parking locations. It's the Airbnb of truck parking. So you definitely want to look up Truck Parking Club, okay? So, um, and they, it tells you every type of amenity that they have at those locations. But going out with a trainer, I tell people, bring a sleeping bag. Instead of starting out getting a comforter and pillows and sheets and blankets, just grab a sleeping bag. That way you can put that sleeping bag in there, grab a pillow, a sleeping bag, and just pack your bags. Don't pack a lot of stuff to be in the truck with your trainer, because it's not a lot of space. That's where your trainer lives and multiple people coming in and out. So you won't have a lot of space. Most of the time, you're gonna have to take whatever bag that you bring in the truck. You're gonna have to take that bag and you're gonna have to sleep on it like a pillow, or put it at the bottom of the bed, and you can put your feet on it and elevate your feet, because it's not a lot of room. Some trainers let you put it up under their bed, but they're not going to be keep opening up their bed for you. So you really want to be mindful and not bring a lot of stuff. Most of the time you're going to sleep, if you in training, you're going to sleep on that top bunk. And on the top bunk, you can just put your bag up there. um and then you want to get your Bluetooth headset, like the Blue Tiger headset that's behind me. You're gonna need you're gonna get few you know cards for the truck stops, so you can be able to take showers when you with that trainer. You ask them, say, hey, can I fuel this time, and put it on my card? And then that way you can be able to get that shower, because we can take showers for free at those truck stops where you will be parking at the end of the night. If you local, then you don't have to worry about all of that kind of stuff, right? Because you're going home at the end of the day. So, but I don't know. I'm an over the road driver. I really love that over the road life. I got to go to 46 states. I didn't go to Washington or North Dakota. Those was the only states that I didn't go to, but I just love that over the road life. And I'm looking forward to getting back there where I can just go see the things that I missed. Um, I really enjoyed it. So it is a lifestyle. And again, I recommend it for anybody, especially young people. If you're 21, now they letting 18-year-olds come out. So if you're 18, 21, get that commercial driver's license. It opened up so many doors and of opportunity for you. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask them. I've been on here almost an hour, like 45 minutes, I know. And so I won't be on here too long. I want to make sure I stay here to answer any questions that you may have. And again, I will be live again tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you have any questions, go ahead, or any comments. Or if you say, hey, Sheree, you forgot to say something, go ahead and drop it. And then I'll make sure that I address it. Or if you have any companies that that's hiring, some of the best companies you can get on will be like Walmart, UPS, USPS, United States Postal Office, FedEx, some women-owned companies like Brenny Transport, the your LTL companies are really, really good companies to drive for where people retire. You want to think outside the box nowadays. You want to go to like some refrigerated companies. Um, Anything flatbed doing real good as always, does good. If you want to, you can do multiple things. You can be an owner operator, or you can be a company driver. You can lease trucks. If you decide you want to lease the lease purchase programs, you want to make sure there's no balloon payment, no money down, no credit check. You know, it just gives you a little bit freedom when it comes to accepting loads. A lot of the contracts, they don't have it where you just always paying off the truck. So a lot of people, get into the lease purchase and they're not able to pay off their lease. But it's okay to do it if you want to go a step above, being a company driver. I actually did lease purchase before I owned my own truck. And I think that was the best training I could have ever gave myself. So I do recommend people doing lease training. All right. Hey, Instagram, Mr. Jonathan. Lease purchase overall is just a scam. It is programs out there that scam people. I wouldn't say scam. Again, it's using the system for what you need it for. Some people have finished their lease. If it's a 2-year lease, a lot of people stick it out and they finish their lease. Some people, like for me, I used it to learn the game. Use it to learn the game of trucking. Stack your money and go out here and buy a truck if that's what you want to do. And don't buy no truck right now. Do not buy no truck right now. Don't buy no truck right now because trucking is still not where it needs to be. But I did use the lease purchase program to my advantage to learn how to make sure that I got the most out of my fuel, for instance. That was something. I wanted to learn how to book my own loads. So I needed that truck. Plus, I wanted my family members to be able to ride in a truck with me. You get that flexibility. I wanted to trick my truck out. I used to have spikes all on my truck and different things like that. I was able to do that through my lease purchase. I learned what it was like to be a, a entry level owner without the responsibilities of everything just being on me. When it was time for my maintenance. So, I was able to have that help from the company, for the that they give you like escrows. Instead of when I bought my own truck, everything was on me. It was just I didn't have that type of escrow that I needed. Of course, I had a little bit of money put to the side, but it wasn't like being with a company and having an escrow account. It was I got about a $10,000. If anything is over $10,000, I'm screwed, But when I did lease purchase, if I needed some extra help or if I didn't have the money, they would take care of it. Put me in a lease truck. That was another thing. So it's not a complete scam. There are scamming companies out here though. So you have to be careful and do your research, but it's not a complete scam. For instance, I would go to Panther. I just applied for Panther the other day to do a lease purchase program. I want to drive those little the trucks that got the kitchen in it and the bathroom because I'm 40 now. So that's one of the companies who I'm looking forward to. Now I'm not trying to own the truck. So I ain't gonna tell you I'm gonna be in there for 2 or 3 years trying to pay it off. That's not what my goal is. So just make sure that you have a goal and that you are don't let trucking use you. You use trucking. That's what I'm gonna say. So don't get scammed out here either. It's a lot of programs that are scamming people, even all the way down to the CDL programs. It is some bad CDL programs, and you want to make sure that you with the good ones. And that's why I wanted to come today and give you some recommendations. But anyway, if you love what you heard today, if you have any questions or comments, go ahead and keep dropping them. If you love what you heard today, please show your support. Okay. By Cash App, She Trucking, Zelle, whatever. I'll give you a shout out while we live. Matter of fact, let me go to my Cash App. And if you do, it could be $1, $2, $3. What I'm trying to do is get the website back going. Get the website back up and going. And if you do send a Cash App, I'm gonna shout you out here on the live. If you love this, please go to our YouTube page and subscribe. Okay. I have probably 10 years worth of information that's right on our YouTube program. even down to what we talked about today. This is just the updated version of it. I will say this, when you are getting ready to get your commercial driver's license, and I touched on this the other day, one of the challenges that I see is people failing that drug test. Okay. So they do have hair follicle tests. They have urinary urinalysis as well. In my book, it's on Amazon. It talks about my life in trucking. It talks about how to get that commercial driver's license and all the things of CDL. It's not as update, so it don't have your ELDT stuff in there. It talks about how to become an owner operator, but nothing like in depth information. But my goal is to get people started with getting a commercial driver's license. So that's what let me check my Instagram too and see if I have any comments over there, because it does not show me on this streaming software that I'm on now. Okay, let's see. I do have comments here. And thank y'all. Ooh, it's a lot of love on Instagram. Let's see. We got just got my class B permit on Thursday. Congratulations. That is awesome. How do you get your hazmat? Great question. That's from Itty Bitty Trucking Committee. All right, Itty Bitty Trucking Committee. Again, on my slideshow, I'm gonna bring it back up. I did talk about this app here. You do have to take you do have to pass this exam. Oh, let me go to it. Oh, wait a minute. I'm going the wrong way. How you get the hazmat? I did talk about it earlier. Okay, here we go. So how I got my hazmat is I actually went on to Trucker Country, this app right here at the end. It's Trucker Country. And I actually studied. And then I went and got my fingerprints and got cleared from the government to be able to haul hazardous material. So you want to pass that hazmat test with this app right here. It's not an app, it's actually a website, and it's called Trucker Country. Also, the other apps have hazmat on there as well. So that's one of the ways that I recommend that you can get your hazmat. Let's see on Instagram who else who else. And who is a good company to drive when you got your hazmat? Money wise, a good company to drive for all of them. You have a school? No, I don't have a school anymore. Not anymore. My patience at 40 is not where it need to be. No. So no, I don't have a school anymore. But if if y'all want me to bring back a class again, I may think about it. I may think about it. I don't know. Oh, $1. Thank you so much. Let's see. Let me pronounce your name, Miss Lord or Oriana Lord. Thank you for your donation. Thank you. We appreciate you. Like I said, that that keeps me to keep showing up and keep giving information, keep giving the game. Like I said, the $1 goes a long way, and I really appreciate it because again, I got to get that website back going because normally all of this is on the website. Now I have to just share links and all, but separate. So again, let me some hazmat companies that I would say is like Landstar. For instance, Landstar require you to have your hazmat. That is one of the best companies I'll say you should go to. And of course that you have to have a year or 2 years experience. American Central Transport had hazmat. Any LTL companies require hazmat. So, and when I say LTL, I'm talking about your ABFs, Sayas, AAA Cooper, um, let's see, any of those, triple and double companies. Um, any kind of tanker company require hazmat. Um, there's so many companies. I will post a list of trucking companies. I have a few list of trucking companies. I'm gonna put them in my stories so y'all can screenshot them and you can be able to get those lists because I do have about 20 of the top companies that I recommend. So I'll reshare that as well on my social media platforms. Great questions. Any schools in Chattanooga area? Absolutely. So there are schools in Chattanooga. And I'm reading these comments off of my Instagram. So thank you. Shout out to the Instagram family over there. We have Millamont truck Millamont is a technical college here in Chattanooga. They have a CDL program. It's about 4 weeks. They have night classes, weekend classes, and day classes. Then you have Chattanooga State Community College. It's a Millamont costs about 4 grand, 4,000. And then Chattanooga State is about 2,500. You can get a grant for that, and then you have to pay like 500 out of pocket. But Chattanooga State is another community college here that you can get your commercial driver's license. Then you have 180 Trucking School. Um, it's on Brainerd Road right there. I don't know a lot about them. I've been saying I'm gonna go over there and be nosy and get some information for y'all, but I don't know a lot about that 180 driving school. And then of course, we used to be able to get your CDL from US Express and Covenant. I'm not sure if they still doing the training there. I don't know. I'll have to check because so much has changed since the pandemic. It's a lot. A lot has changed since the pandemic. So, good questions. Any more questions? You're welcome. All right. Well, we live in real time, so whether you have a question about getting that commercial driver's license, next I'm going to talk about being an owner operator. Then I'll go into owning your own truck. I'm gonna keep doing these slides. Let me know if you like the slideshow because I do have multiple slides that I've used throughout the years to teach people. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna start bringing up my slides. And again, I'm gonna do this for 30 days straight. In September, I will start bringing on guests. So it'll be the original podcast for the She Trucking podcast. But right now, it's just me. And again, I may bring some of my friends, and I'm just trying to get the mojo back, right? Trying to get my mojo back going as well. You're welcome. You're welcome again. Thank you so much for y'all, tuning in. What's up, Trucking with D? I definitely want you on this season of the podcast. Got to get you on. If y'all want to be on the podcast as I get ready to gear back up for it, then let me know. Just send a message and I'll send you the link to sign up. Love it. Yes. Thank you. You love the slides. And thank you so much for your donation. I really appreciate it. Yes. Okay. Well, I'm gonna definitely keep doing the slides. I have so many. Again, I've been doing this for a long time. Advocating and helping people get open the door for into the industry. And so if this has been helpful for you, again, and you watching this on the replay, #replay, let me know. If you have any questions or comments, drop it right now so I can be able to see it before I jump off. Again, it's construction going on in my house, and so I can't stay on too long. But I did want to keep my word and show up at 7 o'clock today, as well as I see that y'all keeping y'all word with staying engaged with me, and I thank you. I thank you. Again, I'm Sheree Moore, the founder of She Trucking. I will be posting about these Sarast Fast. If you want some of these pullers, again, this is for that fifth wheel puller. This is the fifth wheel is how we disconnect our truck from the trailer. It's a release arm that we pull, and a lot of us, we get dirty. We get up under there, and your hands get dirty, but you can take this and pull it straight on out, okay? And if it's nighttime, cut that flashlight on, okay? It's your flashlight. It's also can be a weapon and everything. And this was actually made by one of the it was a driver. His name was Allen, Mr. Allen, and Mr. Allen is no longer here. He actually passed away back in 2021. And so his family asked me to keep the legacy going. These are made in Texas. They are handmade, and I only have a few left. I think I have about 10 or 20 of them. Okay. So if you want to get one of these grabbers, you can literally inbox me and I'll send you the link as well. Or you can go to sarazfast.com. Let me post that up here as well. Saraz Fast. So you'll know how it's spelled. But this is his legacy, y'all. Is one of my good friends. And oh, we miss him. Lord knows we miss him because he was always at the truck shows. And he created a tool that we can use in a safe for safety. Okay. It is sarazfast.com. Oh, hold on. That's not a dot. That is a comma. And again, I will be posting this and sharing more about it as well. All right, sarazfast.com/safety. Or you can just go to sarazfast.com and you can be able to order one of these and it'll, be delivered straight to your home. Okay. Or you can just inbox me and I will definitely get you the information, send you the link and all that good stuff. But this is what I use to pull my fifth wheel. I know some of the trucks now you just have a button, you switch, and now it disconnect. So my last company was like that. But I know when I get over to this over the road company, this pink one right here that you see will be in my truck. Okay. It will be in the truck. And they come in all different colors. So I have pink, not just pink. Okay. This is just one of the pink ones. But blue, yellow, red, black. As you see, here's a red one. And it's blue and black and all different colors. So you can choose the color that you like, and they all have flashlights on them as well. And they steel metal, you keep it in your truck. I just put them up under my bunk or in my side panel. And sometimes I put it right there where the when you open the door. And then that way when I'm getting out, I can just kind of pull it out, and disconnect my trailer. But I try to keep it handy when I'm in the truck. So again, thank y'all for your support. Thank y'all for tuning in today. I will be back again tomorrow. Usually the She Trucking podcast is on Sundays or Saturdays and Tuesdays or Sundays. I don't know what day I'm going to be bringing this season back on yet. I don't know. But hey, right now you got me every day. I'm Sheree, and I'm here to say be safe out there on the road. Do your pre-trip and post-trip inspection. Keep it in between the lines. Again, thank you so much for your support. Let me check out my comments before I go. I don't see anything, so I'm getting ready to jump off. Let's see. Yeah. All right. Until next time. Again, don't forget, support the movement. Let's show support. It's time to be able to if you like what you see, if you have benefited, I don't care if it's $1. Let me check again and make sure no one else has donated. I don't care if it's $1. You can donate. $1 goes a long way here with this organization. And you can donate to She Trucking by Cash App, She Trucking. And on that note, I am out.
Join the She Trucking Foundation today and be a part of a support.
One more thing. If you want to be a sponsor of the She Trucking podcast, make sure that you email me at info@shetrucking.com. If you're interested in being a sponsor, email me at info@shetrucking.com, because as we gear up for our real episodes, we need sponsors. Okay. because it's not free for us to be able to do what we do. So if it was free, I wouldn't need no sponsor. But we need sponsors to make sure that we keep on streaming. Okay. We got to keep on streaming. It helps us pay for the streaming software, our websites, making sure that we can get the guests where they need to be. Okay. We will be doing in-person interviews as well on this season 7. Okay. It will be in-person interviews and we will be doing virtual as well. So if you want to be on, just send me your email, info@shetrucking.com. And if you want to sponsor an episode or the whole season, send me an email at info@shetrucking.com. All right. I'm out for real this time, y'all. Love y'all. Until next time, I'm Sheree Moore, the founder of She Trucking, and I'm out.
Be strong.